Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another Reddit story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for refusing to pay for my stepdaughter's wedding after she told me I'm not really family? I, 48 male, have been married to my wife, Sarah, 46 female, for 15 years. She has a daughter from a previous relationship, Emily, 24 female. I met Emily when she was 8 years old and have always treated her like my own daughter. I paid for her schooling, supported her hobbies, and was there for every important milestone. Her bio father has been mostly absent and only occasionally drops in to play the fun parent role, but Emily has always idolized him, no matter how little he actually does for her. Fast forward to a couple of months ago, Emily got engaged to her longtime boyfriend, and Sarah and I were thrilled for her. Emily told us she wanted a big, beautiful wedding, and naturally, my wife and I offered to pay for it. I've been saving for years, thinking I'd one day help Emily with her wedding, as any father would. We even started discussing venues, dress shopping, and all the other exciting things. I was genuinely happy to make this day special for her. I feel like that's a very important thing to know up front, is that he feels the same way that I feel about this generally, so she must have up something hard. Last week during a family dinner, Emily casually mentioned that she wanted her real dad to walk her down the aisle. I was a little hurt, but I stayed quiet because I know how much she loves her bio dad, and I didn't want to ruin her moment. However, when she started talking more about the wedding plans, it became clear that I wasn't included in anything. She said her real family would be involved in all the important roles, her bio dad walking her down the aisle, her mom in all the pictures, and her real siblings from her father's side being part of the wedding party. Ooh. I couldn't hold my tongue anymore and asked, where do I fit into all this? I've been there for you for 16 years, supporting you in everything. Emily gave me a cold look and said, well, you're not my real dad, are you? I appreciate what you've done, but this is about my real family. Oh, yep, you done up bad enough. And how dumb is this bizzo? She's 24. Plenty old enough to know better. Plenty. And that's one thing that I'm timing out here, but that's one thing that I have to say, that as a bonus parent with bonus kids, I think we all have this, like, they'll understand someday. They'll appreciate what we've done for them more someday. Man, that's just a parent in general. It doesn't matter if you're a bonus parent or a bio parent. It doesn't matter. They'll appreciate all this someday. They'll understand someday. They'll get it. But she's 24. She still doesn't get it. That's a little concerning. But to idiotically be like, hey, that one tether that presents any kind of obligation you feel for providing money that you worked for to my wedding, snip. She doesn't know what she just did. She has no idea that she's destroyed the only argument she had for you paying for anything. I was stunned. My wife didn't say a word, and I just sat there, feeling like I'd been kicked in the gut. After dinner, I told Sarah that I wouldn't be paying for the wedding if I wasn't considered real family. Emily called me selfish and accused me of trying to buy her love by paying for the wedding. She says it was her day and that I should respect her wishes. Now Sarah is begging me to reconsider because Emily is young and didn't mean it, and we've already committed to paying for it. I love Emily, but I feel like I've been treated like an ATM rather than a father figure. Am I the astronaut for refusing to pay for a wedding where I'm not even considered part of the family? No. Ooh, but comments point out an interesting thought here. If this is a joint account, you better lock that shit down ASAP. Because your wife, Sarah, Emily's mom, might feel differently enough to go ahead and do something shady. And also, I don't know if you guys have separate finances or blended. I don't know what your dynamic is there. The way you've presented this to us to this point makes it seem like you independently have been putting money aside that you have earned for this. Not as a joint effort between you, because that makes it a different thing. This is something that you of your own accord were setting money aside for. That's the way it was presented to us. So that's the way we're using it here. You have every right to, like we've read before, to not gift your money to somebody when situations change. Yes, it's more of an asshole move doing it closer to the wedding. Yes, it's going to cause damage. Damage is apparently the theme of the day. She did plenty of damage. She's not afraid of damage. And she snipped the one string that provided any kind of obligation that you felt. She's like, it's not there. It doesn't exist. And you're like, well, me then. Okay. Then neither does this. Oh, and sure, she's going to backtrack now. Let it simmer. Right now, she's pissed, right? Right now, she's pissed. And she's just going to be hurling insults because she doesn't understand what she's done. And that's what it's fight or flight or talk shit. She's going to talk shit because she doesn't understand what she's done. She doesn't understand that she's been a delusional, entitled, little bizzo bride. Ava was appalled by this story. That tells you enough. Like, yes, a teenage girl who is a bonus kid is appalled by this behavior. This is just a shit human being here. Like Emily, as your wedding gift, we give you a lifetime exclusion from the DFHB club. You're shit. You need to work on that. Like, not being shit. That would be good. Let me relate this. We did another story way back when, and it was a bonus mom who ended up paying for everything. And that might have been after her husband had even passed. I can't remember, but it was bonus mom who ended up paying for everything, went to the wedding, sat there, completely ignored the whole time. Not thanked, not even acknowledged, and then afterward was like, I'm done with but went through with paying for it. So OP, if you went through with it, you were going to be in the exact same boat. You're going to be sitting there watching all the money that you had gifted be spent to create this gorgeous exposition that openly spat in your face and pretended like you didn't existed. Meanwhile, real dad who shows up only to play the fun dad, he's not going to turn down this role. Shit, no. She's setting it up for him to strut down the aisle like he created all this for her. Look, I understand that like she's always going to want and need her father's love and attention, and maybe craving that overrode her understanding for what her bonus dad has done for her, but she was willing to sacrifice the relationship she had with her bonus dad to give her real dad this false sense of accomplishment. Yeah, as a bonus parent, I would be gutted too. That wasn't enough though. He was going to eat that shit. He was going to let it go whenever she kept talking and making references to real family that definitely didn't exclude him. That's just salt in the wound. So he eventually spoke up because it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough that real dad was going to do the fun role and walk her down the aisle. He's like, okay, whatever. She kept going and kicking him in the nuts over and over and over again, to the point where he eventually had to speak up. He was going to eat a lot of shit, but she shoveled too much shit onto his plate. Okay. Katie Thunder gave me a comment to read here. From Turner AC, a stepdad should show up with a stack of Monopoly money since none of it's real. Ooh, I like it. If this was me and she re-invites him, I wouldn't pay and wouldn't attend. I don't care if the bio dad's there. You can have bio dad there without it being disrespectful to bonus dad. He wasn't going to say shit about him walking her down the aisle. He was still going to be there as long as he got to be part of the family. He was even excluded from the family. That's the problem. I think what she's doing is fueled by her need for bio dad's love and attention. But she's letting it destroy way more than it needs to. Unless she was convinced to exclude him by bio dad. And that's a way different story.